Hi guys, I'm going to share a nice little tip again with you today. These days most of us in South Africa fish with our braided line outfits, which is a coffee grinder and a 15 odd foot rod. And the stock standard way of fishing is literally you have a dingle dangle through your bait and that's clipped onto your sinker and attached to your hook. The main reason why we actually clip our bait onto the sinker is for distance when we cast. Distance on our coastline is a very important thing. The more distance you often get on casting, the better chance you have of catching a good fish. So we've got all these little fancy dingle dangles, everybody's got their own little tricks, but often when we cast and we're expecting this bait to fly nicely through the air, it starts to sort of fly through the air unevenly, and we call it the helicopter effect, where it starts spinning and everything wraps up. You get no distance, your bait lands right here and it's an absolute disaster. So I've been experimenting a bit with these dingle dangles and trying to find out why bait spins, and two reasons I came up with for me personally that creates my bait for spinning is, number one, my sinker is not aligned 100% with my dingle dangle. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Your dangle is onto your hook and you've got your sinker hanging on it. So often your sinker might be hanging skew like this, and when you cast it starts swinging in the air and it's unbalanced. So make sure your sinker and your dingle is in a straight line when you attach your bait to your hook and your sinker. So I adjust it over here by this hook, take my pliers and I bend that little hook till I find everything's hanging nice and straight. So the first thing is to make sure that everything here is aligned and you know it's going to fly through the air nice and evenly. Right, then the second thing that I've noticed that creates my bait spinning in the air. So what I often did initially when I made the mistake was by making my baits too small. So I had my bait sitting there and I've got a long piece of dingle sticking at the bottom, and I find that actually creates a bit of a swinging action in the air when I cast and makes the bait to go uneven. So what you want to do is you want to have your bait cover the dingle as far as possible and only the eye at the bottom sticking out where your sinker clips on. Alright, so very important, we always mention this, is to measure the length of your bait. So that's what I'm talking about. You've got your dingle where it's going to sit in your bait. You measure the end of your dingle over there, you mark it, and you cut your bait over there. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you guys what I mean by that. I'm going to take my bait needle, put it through the mackerel head like I would. Make sure it's nice and center of your bait. So it's nice and centered. I'll clip my dingle on, pull it through. And we're going to put the hook through the mackerel head and the dingle, through the bottom lip, through the dingle, through the top lip of our mackerel. Alright, so if you're doing a normal bait, you'll obviously cotton it on. Normally I would trim this bait a little bit to make it more aerodynamic, and you can obviously add some cutlets or whatever you want to do with this. But what I'm trying to show you guys is the important bit, that you mustn't have a long piece of dingle hanging out here. Alright, so as you can see where my dingle is attached to my sinker, it's very close to the bait. There's not a long piece there, it's nice and short, everything's nice and stiff and firm, and when it flies through the air there's not much that can swing if everything's well balanced. You've got dingles nice and short, it's close to the bottom end of your bait, and that's definitely something which I found helps my baits to fly better through the air, is by keeping this bottom end of the dingle to as close as possible to the end of my bait, and everything is nice and compact and obviously straight in line.